be good. Hey, Facebook people, look who we got here today. One of the young guns of Vegas, Parker Tighe. Did I get your name right?
Parker Tighe, yes, you pronounced it correctly.
I did it. The old boomer got the name right. Go
Yeah, no one
figure.
can ever pronounce my name correctly. But it's okay.
He's got the greatest backdrop in the world, a dog, a chihuahua,
Her name is
cute.
Bella.
Bella?
Bella the Chihuahua, yeah.
Oh, hi, Bella. 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 She heard. Tell us about your rise to comedy. Where were you born? When did you find out you're funny? What
Uh,
started you in
okay,
comedy,
I was
Parker?
born in 2002 at Mountain View Hospital right here in Las Vegas.
Wow.
My entire life, I knew I wanted to do comedy. I remember
Really?
seeing Jeff Dunham at Caesar's Palace when I was 6, and I was like, I'm doing that.
Oh
I
my
made my parents
gosh.
buy me a puppet online, and I didn't know what comedy was. I just thought like the only thing comedy I thought like all it was ventriloquism because I'd only ever seen Jeff Dunham. So I was just like, oh, that's what you got to do. So I taught myself ventriloquism at like 6 and 7 years old,
No
and then I
way.
realized that there's like other comics, and I'm like, oh, fuck the puppet, I'm just gonna talk. And so I got really into George Carlin, Bill Hicks, and Dave Chappelle were like the big three for me growing up. Were like my big influences,
Those are
and
big influences, Parker.
yeah, those are the big three for me. And uh, I started just like writing and stuff when I was probably like in middle school and high school, and then my beginning of my senior year in high school, I found an open mic, the Grouchy John's, the friendliest open mic in the world, hosted by Sam Lundstedt, really great guy. He got me on there, and then that was last October, and I've been doing comedy since then.
Well, golly gee willikers, welcome to the comedy family.
Thank you,
Holy
thank you. I feel
Toledo.
very welcomed. Everyone is so nice.
I know, right? Isn't this a welcoming city?
No, Vegas is everyone here is super great. I have a really great community here.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never felt so welcome, you
Hmm.
know.
What city
I'm
did you start doing comedy in?
I started in Southern California in Murrieta.
Okay.
And like I thought it was 6 years ago because time escapes old people. It was
Yeah.
5 years ago. I was lying. Uh,
Yeah.
and I just started comedy because my I have an adult daughter that decided not to talk to me, and I refused to die.
Uh-huh.
And so I started doing comedy. I called up this comedy club and said, "How'd you like to save my life today?" And they got me that same day and taught me comedy.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Oh, sorry, someone texted me.
That's okay. Is that a booty call? Better not
No,
be. You have a
no,
girlfriend.
no, no, she's a lesbian.
Why am I laughing at that? So I met you the other day at therapy. We were sitting next to each other. Then I
Yes,
put him on the show here today. And I'm like, "Are you a Vegas comic?" And I'm like, "Oh God, did I say the stupidest thing now?" Because we were
it's okay.
sitting
It's
right now.
okay.
And then I listened to his set. And then I'm not, I signed up in the middle of the list for the mic. And I got to go up last. And
Shaz does that. The list doesn't really matter at Shaz's mics, nor does the time. It just kind of, you just kind of, we just go over there and wait for Shaz to hand us the microphone.
yes, it's fun. You know, it's like working on your improv at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah, definitely.
He's really good at improv too.
Oh,
I really
yeah,
enjoy
Shaz is
it.
a comic. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the biggest thing you've learned in the short time that you've been actually you've studied it your whole life? But as far as being on stage, what have you learned since you stepped on stage?
Um, I've learned that I don't know if this is like a 21st century thing or if this is how humans have always been. People have really short attention spans, and you need to make like especially at the open mic scene, you need to make them laugh right away because you don't necessarily deserve their attention. You haven't earned it. I think you need to earn the crowd's attention. I think is the biggest thing I've learned.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah,
like, it's your game plan to come out with a good, solid joke at the
I
start.
like to start off with a few one-liners because that's my style of comedy. It's about half like regular jokes, and then I do a lot of like one-liners, and I usually like to open with those, just to like it's very quick. You don't really have to pay attention that much because it would suck to come out here with a huge bit that take 30 seconds and then nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, who have been some of the people around here in Vegas who have come alongside and helped coach you?
Sam Lundstedt definitely was he was the first like guy I met. Super helpful, super great guy. All the people at the Happy Earth Market for giving me a bunch of stage time and giving me just being super great. Chaz Rosowski, I'm sure I'm pronouncing his last name wrong, but Chaz is a super great guy. My buddy Jorge Luis, Paco, like there's so many people that I've met that are just super helpful. They like Paco was like really helpful in teaching me how to like have stage presence and like with the writing and like everyone's a super helpful. Everyone wants to make everyone funnier, and I
Yeah,
don't know. It's a great place to be around people.
it is. I love this scene.
Yeah.
Like I've been in a lot of cities doing comedy, for extended periods of time,
Mhm.
and this rivals the help you get in New York City.
Yeah.
That's how good the comedy scene is here in regard to helping each other.
Yeah.
So what, you grew up watching the great comedians like Bill Hicks and Chappelle, etc.
Yeah.
But then you decided, I'm going to go on stage.
Mhm.
So what made you say, I know you wanted to your whole life, but there
Mhm.
was that moment where you said, now's the time.
Yeah.
What,
Well,
what was that catalyst?
I was always like the class clown when I was in school, and that was kind of like getting stage time to a certain degree. And I'm like, I need more of this. Like, I don't have enough time to get through all my material in class, so I need more. And it was honestly just a matter of finding a mic that would let me on. Like there aren't that many opportunities for people under 21 in this city. It's a little bit easier now because I know more people and I have facial hair now, and I can pretty much get away with being at bars. But when I was just starting out, it was like who will take a minor, and I just went to the first place I found.
Yes. How many bars are there that let you on stage?
Um, well, I do therapy twice a week, and then I can usually get on at the dive bar, and then most of Don Barnhart's mics are cool for me too.
Oh, that's great. Don Barnhart,
I
man,
was
you're
talking to
getting.
him last night, so he told me to not worry about the age restrictions and just come by.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. Awesome. Where are his mics at right now?
Um, I think Jokesters moved the Flamingo, but don't quote me on that. And then he does a few other shows on the strip that I'm sure I'm forgetting, but
Very
I know one's at
lovely.
the Flamingo.
Boy, when you can impress Don Barnhart, have you
Yeah.
ever taken one of his classes?
I haven't. I was going to go to one of the shows, but I ended up. I didn't know you had to sign up in advance, so I showed up and I wasn't able to get on. But I'm thinking about taking one of his classes. Yeah, I met him for the first time last night at a Happy Earth Market.
You didn't. He was there?
Yeah, he was there. I was. It was pretty. I didn't know it was him at first. He was wearing a COVID mask, and I was just talking to him for like half an hour, and then
What?
he gets called on stage, and they say Don Barnhart, and I'm like, oh shit, that's Don Barnhart.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so cool. Oh
yeah,
my gosh. It's probably a good thing he had a mask on because otherwise you might have been intimidated.
yeah,
You know, he's got,
yeah,
he's done comedy for decades and even for
yeah.
around the world.
Yeah, no, he's like the like one of the guys as far as Vegas comedy goes.
Absolutely. I look up
Yeah,
to him so much.
yeah.
I'm even thinking of taking his comedy class because he's got a lot he can teach.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So what is in your wheelhouse as far as comedy? What do you want to do? Like go to late night, write
Uh,
sketches?
I
Where are you planning on
so
going?
I've done some sketch stuff already, and I like screenplays. I like writing. I definitely see myself as a writer as well. I wrote a short film that my buddies and I produced last fall. It should be coming out soon. There were some COVID related delays, but it should be coming out soon. But
What's
I
the name
definitely
of your film
it's
called?
called
Can
Refuse to Yield, and I wrote it in it, and I also star in it. So it was my first stab at acting. So that'll
when
be
where will it be visible?
YouTube. We were gonna
Okay.
do a release, but you know everything with COVID is kind of put a damper in it, and then we just want to get it out and have as many people see it as possible. So we're just gonna put it on YouTube for free.
What is your YouTube?
It'll be on we'll promote it on my Instagram is probably where it'll be because I don't know what channel we want to put it on yet. But at Parker Tell Joke if you need to find any information on
At
me
Parker Tell Joke, like
on
one
Instagram.
joke.
Yeah, just one, just the
on
one.
Instagram.
On
That's where you'll
Instagram.
find it.
Yeah,
How
that's
close
the
is
best
it
place
to
to get in
being
contact.
released? What's that?
Within the next month. And I just said the Instagram
Wow.
probably the best place to get in contact with me or to find anything out.
Super
Um,
duper.
what was I gonna say? But yeah, so I've done some like sketch comedy and stuff like that, and I want to continue to write. And if I could get a job like writing for like SNL would be like the dream because I like that kind of stuff like comedy writing. But I also want to do
Absolutely.
stand up. I don't really want to like I don't necessarily want to go on late night or anything like that, is what you mentioned, but I just want to do comedy full time is my dream.
That's great.
Yeah.
Those are some great goals, and you're young enough to make it happen. You
Yeah.
know,
I,
if,
I'm thinking about going to CSN community college for like writing or something like that. But
what's CSN?
College of Southern Nevada.
Okay,
That's like the community college here.
super. Oh, you're a serious person, and you got a good start on your comedy already. Oh my gosh, you got.
Yeah.
Do you call this a movie coming out, right?
Yeah, it's not quite a full length film. It's about an hour long.
That's a good long time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it was most of my senior year was spent doing this.
what's it about?
It's like a coming of age story. It's just about uh, a group of kids who they have like one last assignment before they graduate high school, and it's just about whether or not to blow it off, basically, and what they do during the day. It all takes place in the span of one day.
Cool. Is it shot in one location or multiple?
No, we shot it at our Review High School, which is where my mom works, so we had access to the whole school for that. Part of it was shot on Fremont Street. Part of it was shot just people's houses. Shot it out in the middle of the desert for some stuff. It was
Wow.
all over Vegas.
Super cool. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. What is something that you would, even though you're relatively new at being on stage, I keep referring to that because I don't want you to get freaked out that I'm asking you this question.
No, ask me anything you want.
Even though you're relatively new at being on stage, you've got years and years of studying it.
Mhm,
So, how was it different
mhm,
from what you observed and thought it would be once you got on?
mhm. It was really, I remember my first time was at a little coffee shop, and I didn't realize how close you had to hold the microphone to your face. That was the biggest thing I had to learn was holding the microphone properly. That's half the battle right there. Uh, but I don't know what I've noticed on stage is I feel like really free up there. Like I'm not like most of the time I have like an inner monologue going on and I'm overthinking everything. But when I'm on stage, there's no time for that. I'm just telling jokes. It's just me and a microphone, and that's what I like the most about it. That's what I really I don't know if that answers your question, but
It
that's,
does,
yeah,
because you would think, you would presume that until you get on stage, you wouldn't know that.
yeah.
Like time is just
No,
so
time doesn't
different when
exist
you're
up
on.
there. The light is the most shocking thing in the world. Like it's been that long. Like I started wearing a watch, but I always forget to look at it while I'm on there.
I would get, I would set my alarm and then it would go off and then I'm distracted that I have to shut my alarm
I
off
can't
and
have
like,
my phone on at all. I have to put my phone on silent when I go on there,
yes.
or not have it on me at all, preferably.
What's the silliest thing that you've seen happen at a venue that you'll never forget?
Um,
Silly or
okay,
scary or stupid?
it was really hilarious. It was at Happy Earth Market. It was the only time I've ever seen them take the mic from someone.
Really?
Yeah,
Can't
some guy.
imagine. They're so docile in
They are
there.
so sweet, but they took the mic from this guy. Um, it was this comic who I've never seen him at any other place. He had this joke about how he's never seen a black cowboy, and it was just not going very well.
Oh my
And I was in the bathroom while this was going down, and and then it was just like not working his joke. And I walk on stage, I go up next, right? I have to take the mic from him, and I have no idea what's happening, and the room is just like dead from that. And I'm like, what happened? I have no idea what's going on. And then
God.
Sam Lundstedt gets on right after me and says, hey, you guys ever hear the one about the black cowboy? And then he had to explain it to me.
The weirdest thing that ever happened when I was on stage, because I used to tell jokes just because I thought up jokes.
Yeah.
I not because I had a persona or a point of view, just because I wrote a joke.
It's because
And
it
I
was
got
funny.
a, huh?
It's because it was funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I got up on stage in Portland, Oregon. First
Uh-huh.
mistake. Is so reserved, and politically correct and passive aggressive. And I got up there and I told a joke about Michael Jackson.
Uh-huh.
I love the joke. I'm
Yeah.
not racist. I love the joke. I get it that everybody thinks I'm old, so I'm racist, but I'm not. I just think it's funny that he was in a movie about freeing Willie, and then later he freed his Willie. I just think that's funny.
Yeah.
And don't blame me. I'm just the messenger. And
Yeah.
so then I did a joke about Oprah Winfrey
Uh-huh.
being the face of Weight Watchers when we've been the one watching her weight. And then I got off stage. I thought I killed, right? And the
Uh-huh.
next guy, I mean, people were laughing. And then the
Uh-huh.
next guy got up there and he goes, "Well, I didn't know we were going to have a racist grandma." That was the last time I ever told jokes about anybody of a different color. Taught me
Yeah.
a lesson.
I don't I think it's really surprising to me like what audiences are sensitive about. Like I don't know if like I just have a comedian brain that works differently, but like when I hear people go like ooh or something like that, I'm like I had no idea. Like I like didn't expect that at all. It's usually a complete surprise to me.
I know it.
And
And
it's not
it's
even over like things that one would think. It's like some of the weirdest stuff people like it's like I don't know why.
It
I
is. I
think it's
heard
weird.
that last night. I heard people going, ooh, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Where'd you
come
go up last night?
on. I went over to Hilarious 7 over at
Oh,
the
you were playing
Notoriety.
Halo 7? Yeah.
I went over there to watch.
Oh, you went over to watch. Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah, there were fabulous comics, but a couple of there was one woman and rest guys, and a couple of the guys, Ty Rivera always pushes the envelope. He's always going to get a ooh, because that's
Yeah,
his shtick. He
yeah,
loves push. But this other guy, I don't think he expected he was going to get that response. And
yeah,
he's been on late night TV, so he kind of made fun of it.
yeah. I don't like to complain about stuff like that though, because I think it's our job to satisfy the audience. It's our job to figure out what they want. So I don't think we necessarily have a right to complain about the reaction. I don't know. That's kind of where
I,
I'm coming from.
I totally get that. I want
Yeah.
to ask you because I'm sure you observe. You're an observer,
One could
so I can tell from your comments that you watch things. So a lot of the comics that have been doing comedy 30, 40 years throw around a term called reading the room. You need to know how
uh,
to read the room. That wouldn't have happened if you read the room, but they never really tell us what goes into reading a room. But I
mhm.
bet you got it figured out from
I
what
don't
you
know if
just
I
said.
have it figured out because, like I said, well, I don't know if this was on the show or if it was before the stream said. I said I mostly play to audiences of like people like me, like 20-year-old white liberals, and I'm really good at reading them. Like I can tell because I am them. Like I can tell where the exactly the line is on every single one of their things.
Wow.
But like
How do you,
it's not. It's what it's all my friends are like that. That's it. But uh, when you're at a room, you kind of need to like you can't just show up and do your set. You need to hang out, see what the vibe is. It's like I don't know, vibe check the room basically. Look around, what kind of person you can kind of generalize off people, the way people dress, how old they are, stuff like that, and get a decent understanding of what they'll probably be like. It's not 100% accurate, but it's a good guess, and it's the best you can do.
so like, do you watch the way people interact with each other and then take something like that up on stage?
Not that closely. I'm usually working on writing when I'm hanging out somewhere at a mic, but I'll notice little things, and if something looks funny to me, I'll make and I want to talk about it. Like if I do want to do crowd work, I'll do that. Like the other night at therapy, there was a an older guy, and the girl next to him was like little young, and I thought that was so I wrote something about that, and I brought it up on stage, but that's about it.
That was that when I was there, or that was on Sunday?
I think that might have been on Sunday.
Yeah, because I didn't remember that. I know when we were there together sitting, there was a young white girl that was heckling everybody.
Oh
And
my god.
then she went up and she was a comedian. I'm
Yeah,
like,
no. So I'm actually the reason she signed up because I was outside getting in trouble for smoking weed, and she came up to me and asked me how old I was, and I'm like, who's this fucking cop? Right? And she's like, no, 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 I'm a comedian, and I'm like, okay, sure. And she's like, I haven't done stand up in years, and I'm like, okay, yeah, sign up. And then she signs up like last, and then she's just heckling everyone, the whole crowd. And then I had this joke because it was the night of one of the riots, and I was talking about um, the Minneapolis Police Department, and she said that, oh, you're too white for that joke, and that kind of pissed me off. So I went and
Totally.
talked to her for a couple minutes.
Oh my gosh, how
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like if you're going to heckle, make it add to or make it make
Yeah, I
sense.
appreciate a good heckle. Like if something's genuinely funny, like please say it. But like
Yeah.
being a bitch, like I don't know.
I love it when people yell out something funnier than what I have
Oh,
because it
that's great.
elevates
Yeah.
the room. And
Yeah.
I go, thank you. I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
Whenever you heckle, you guys, I get to use that material. You
Mhm.
just gave me a joke. Thank you.
Yeah.
And what are they going to say? No.
Yeah.
I got a free joke. Funnier. One time I even said, that's funnier than anything else I said tonight. Because it is, might as well acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So, um, the whole comedy world came crashing down,
Yeah.
and we're all now under our second
We're all
quarantine.
refugees right now.
Yes. And it's so confusing, like being sent to our rooms. We don't know if we're being punished
Yeah.
or. So how are you coping? Is it through writing and thinking up
Um,
funny?
well, I have a full-time job that takes up a lot of my time, and
What
then
is your full-time job?
I
You
am
told me.
I'm a social media content moderator for TikTok, and basically that means like I sit on TikTok for 8 hours a day and report all the videos.
So like you report if somebody is showing too much skin or
Yeah,
say,
yeah, stuff like
wow,
that. Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, that takes up a lot of my time. But yeah, I'm definitely writing a lot. I should have written more during quarantine. I took a lot of time off. It was kind of hard for me to write without having any place to perform. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
definitely rough. Comedy is like therapy for me. Like it's really good for you. And not being able to go on stage for 3 months was rough.
very rough.
Yeah.
My whole life I struggled with depression. You would
Uh,
too if your parents survived the Holocaust. Isn't that funny? And so
Is that material?
my mother was Christian, my dad was Jewish, and that makes me a comic. It makes me a comic. Makes me nothing but a comic. And like when I'm right, if I wake up depressed, because of
Uh,
Hitler or something really current, then I have to write jokes. I have to
yeah.
write. I've written 100 jokes a day just to get myself out of
Yeah.
depression.
I've noticed when I've had a really bad day, it's like reflective of my stand up. Like the other day, I think it was like a week ago, like I had like a really bad mental breakdown, and then I'm like, oh shit, I have to be on stage in 20 minutes. And I'm like, so that was very reflective in my set that night. Like people could probably tell.
One time, this guy got up on stage. My first month no, it was before I was just at a mic watching comics, trying to get the courage. And this guy got up there and he was telling a joke and it bombed. Told
Oh,
another joke, it bombed. And then how we think terrible things about ourselves when we're bombing.
mhm.
He wasn't thinking them. He was saying them into the microphone. He's like, I should go home and kill myself.
Oh,
You're saying this. And so I said, just make fun of us Jews. So he started making fun of Jewish people. And it was so hysterical.
I can say there's no better confidence booster than a really bad comic. I remember like one of the first mics I went to, I was like, I don't know if I'm funny or not. And then I saw someone just eat a bag of dicks, and I'm like, I can do that.
Oh my gosh. Oh, anyway, so I'm going to let you go. You've been awesome to interview. I can't wait to get back out when the governor lets us
Yeah,
see you
Sisalak.
all over town. Yeah,
Gee, he just
I
lost the comedian vote. I'll tell you that much.
yeah, telling us we're not essential. I feel like going up to him and saying, "Listen, I am too essential, and I'm a sensual being."
I'm gonna go and tell him some jokes. Maybe he'll open up.
Yeah, where's he going to go when he's depressed?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not going to help him. I'll tell you that.
yeah.
Suck a bag. Thank you so much, Parker.
Thank you, Linda. You have a good day.
You too. Love you lots.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Say goodbye to Bella and your girlfriend.
Bye, Bella.
Everybody's